Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. The main ingredient is your girl Judy. And before I lay it down, I just wanted to get on here and upload a testimony. We're going to call it Testimony Tuesday, right? It's a little late, but as long as it's still Tuesday, I'm on time. So I'm going to get right into it and just let you guys know that God has been very good to me all of my life. Even when I wasn't looking for God or looking to God, I wasn't looking for Him, I wasn't looking to Him. He was looking over me and He was looking over my life and He was protecting me, right? Back then, I had no clue. And getting sat down and still over these last 6 years, I sure know now, and I'm thankful to the Lord for keeping me. On this channel, if you haven't already watched a couple of my videos, I share my life experiences that I've gone through in hopes to give language to situations for teen women, teen girls, young women who may be experiencing who may be experiencing some similar things that I had once experienced, and helping navigating moving forward in a healthy way. So, what I do is basically identify issues and provide some solutions and insights based off the things that I've learned over the years that I didn't know before, right? So this is something I'm doing new today, Testimony Tuesday. And I'm going to start doing it. We're going to see how long it lasts. And I say that because I know how I am. So not trying to tell on myself, but I'm just being honest, all right? We're going to do this Testimony Tuesday thing. And I was actually inspired to do this by my pastor, who is encouraging members of the congregation to give a testimony in the booth that's set up at church. And the idea behind it is to testify how God has shown up in, individuals' lives after going through a difficult time, while we're offering encouragement to someone who may be going through, a similar situation or just going through in life, period. I thought that was an awesome idea because I'm just like, everybody always going through something. It is what it is. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something major or life altering or traumatic, but I do think that it is a wonderful idea that we share, because people need to know that they're not alone. Not that they're seeking misery or, you know what I'm saying? Because it's other people out here who are, they miserable. Misery love company. And that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking to be miserable and looking for misery to be in a multitude, but just, people need to know that they're not alone, because when things are going on in your life, you do feel like you're alone. You can watch TV in different scenarios and people be talking about you not alone, but that's distant. Sometimes you don't have somebody right there on hand to connect with, to feel like you can be vulnerable and share whatever's going on in your life, because you feel like you're the only one going through it. And that's not true, okay? So how I'm going to start my Testimony Tuesday is just going right in and giving it to y'all real rough, rugged, raw, because I can't escape that. That's who I am. Y'all look at me now. I'm fuzzy. I'm not even on here how I prefer to be, but I'm just making sure I keep my word to myself as far as getting this upload out. So here we go. So, cause I be having to write stuff down so I can stay on track, okay? Cause she be going off on tangents. It is what it is. So, my testimony is this. I suffered a traumatic experience in losing my father and finding his dead body when I was about 15, 16 years of age. Um, I literally felt as though I had lost half my heart for sure, and my mind at the time after his passing. And shortly after, my life definitely reflected just that. For many years, I made poor decisions and boyfriends, and I learned over time that I had desired the love of my father, but I was picking the wrong boys. I was literally picking the wrong boys. I was picking from a place of hurt. I was definitely seeking out the wrong kind of attention and definitely looking to fill a void that only healing could provide. I didn't have any positive female, influences and or guidance around that time in my life to really kind of cover me. And over some time, I really discovered that my covering was my daddy. My protection was my daddy, and he was no longer here. So, I'm going through these emotions. I'm feeling what I'm feeling. I'm still a teenager. I'm still liking boys, right? But I ain't got a clue about the right thing to look for in a said boyfriend. So, you know, my mama, not, she didn't get me. She did not get me. My aunties, my older female cousins, I didn't have that positive guidance to kind of help me steer and figure out, what's the proper type of boy to like? What are some things you look out for? You know, and, you know, that left me bumping my head many a days. Um, this led me to marrying young, which, can be, if you marry the right person young, you good, but I didn't. And I found this out afterwards. So I married young and unfortunately, attracted yet another boy in my life who would then come to mistreat me, come to abuse me, come to use me, and pretend to love me for his own gain. And, a slew of other marital and moral violations took place in that marriage, which ultimately led me to leaving him and divorcing him after 13 and a half years, right? So, finally after that, I was forced to sit with myself. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. I was forced to sit with myself. And I believe that God sat me down so he could deal with me and I could finally deal with myself. I could stop running from my problems. I could stop running from the hurt. I could stop running from the pain and not sitting and acknowledging and processing everything in a healthy way concerning losing my dad, losing my father, I had to stop running from me. I had to pay attention to what had got me to where I was back when I left my ex-husband back in like March, April of 2019. Um, when divorcing him, I literally had to start over. from scratch with three daughters. And as jacked up as it was, that's when healing finally began. I finally got still to deal with everything, to recollect, to remember, like, what happened? Why am I here? And it all started way back in June of 2001 when my daddy passed. Like, it just, at that point, it boiled over. Um, I reviewed each and every poor relational decision concerning boyfriends, maybe even some friendships that I shouldn't have been in, or maybe they were seasonal, but I just got to sit and, try to figure out how I got here, why I kept making the same mistakes and the same picks with different names, especially relationally concerning um, boyfriends, right? During this time, I got in my word, my Bible. I started praying to the Lord, and He revealed a lot to me then, and is still continuing to reveal things to me even today. And the funny thing is, like, I'll be talking to my daughter. This is slightly off script, but it's relative. I'm just remembering while I'm healing have healed. Healing has also begun and taken place while talking to my daughters about certain things, and just being able to sit back and be able to answer questions, similar questions they have had. I'm glad to be able to walk through and work through and guide them through some very similar things that I had felt, but I couldn't ask nobody these things. Nobody really had the answers. Nobody was really paying attention. Everybody was wrapped up in their own life and and really surviving. Um, so working through some things about teaching my daughters how, you know, to process that just because your pappy, and yes, he's a pappy, because it's levels to this. It's pappies, it's daddies, and it's fathers. He's a pappy, okay? And I've had an opportunity to work through some things with my daughters that I didn't have anybody to work through with me. So while I'm healing myself, I'm also healing and in the process of healing with my daughters, also alongside with we've done counseling, done therapy, right? Please do that. Do it quick. If you suffer from any type of trauma in your life, I definitely suggest getting counseling and or therapy, family counseling, family therapy. It is beneficial. I mentioned that also in a previous video that is uploaded on this channel as well. Check it out. So I'm praying. The Lord is revealing things to me. I have a chance to be exactly what my mama wasn't to me, what my aunties wasn't to me, what my older female cousins wasn't to me, and guide my children through their emotions and through their feelings about their pappy not being in their life, and teaching them while my father is not physically here on earth, and that definitely took a toll on me. Just because your pappy is still here physically on earth does not give you the right to take out your feelings of disappointment and anger on the world and even on yourself. You know, um, I get to teach them how to remain um, being a young lady, going through the different phases of, you know, becoming, going from a young girl, like, my kids is 3 years apart, so little girls, young girls into young ladies, right? Navigating relationships in school, navigating even um, liking boys, because that's natural, that's normal. But what we look for in somebody that could potentially um, be your boyfriend when you are of age. Right now, none of my children have boyfriends because they understand that that is a that's a responsibility. Okay, that's what I'm teaching them. I have an opportunity to be what other women, ladies weren't in my life through teaching and guiding my daughters in this same space. You don't get to take it out on the world because your pappy not in your life. Navigating those emotions and feelings, navigating what it looks like, a healthy way to go about, liking boys and things of that nature. I get to do all of that with them. Um, it's healing. It's healing for me. It's continuing the healing journey for them. Um, I get to, like I said, heal and connect with them really by telling them my story. Obviously, we're breaking it down age appropriate, to help them avoid all the traps that I wasn't able to avoid as a young, naive teen girl when, trauma hit my life. It's as simple as that. As an adult now, who is proud to say that I have healed so much and am still healing. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And I no longer live as the little girl that I used to live, like making poor relational decisions, because I've learned better. And not only have I learned better, I am doing better. I am being an example to my daughters, showing them what it looks like to overcome in that area. Just as far as bad relational pics and things like that. So that's my story. That's part of my story. That's part of my testimony. He has and is still doing a great work in me, and I can see that it's not only for me, but it's for my daughters as well. And I'm excited to know I have evidence already live and in motion that my daughters will not be victims of being tolerating abuse and being conditioned to tolerate abuse. Yes, I am here to say that you can give yourself permission to heal today and allow God to help you along in your healing journey. I need some water. That's my testimony. On this Tuesday, I have healed and continuing to heal because it's not just for me. My healing is for me. My healing is for my generation after me, my daughters. And my story is for whoever needs to know that you are not alone and you too, you can heal. God can help you heal. if you let them. Y'all be blessed. I'm finna get me some water, and I'll see y'all in the next upload. Take care.